Hello, Libra. This is Barta from Roosters Peacock, and I'll be doing your general intuitive reading for July 13th through the 19th. As the reading gets going, take the pieces and parts and leave the rest. Okay, I'm going to do this just a little bit different. I'm going to use oracle cards to get the areas of life. Around in these situations, as far as I think what was sticking out. I know it's not this week. Yep, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not about this week, but it definitely has to. It is, but it's not. It's actually, I keep seeing the full moon at the end of July, the buck moon. Around that time, I'm not saying you're overthinking anything by any means, but what I'm seeing is there is going to be kind of like a, I think you're going to feel, how do I put this? When you're looking towards the future, you're not one that's going to always look towards the future. Yes, you have to plan, but this one here is kind of like you get kind of like a taste of it. Like you're seeing a direction where something's going. That's kind of where, I mean, it's like not an aha moment, but especially pay attention around the end of this month towards the full moon. The 28th is actually sticking out in my head. I know it's the 29th, I believe, for the full moon. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, it's going to be, life's going to be changing. That's what I get. Life is going to be changing. As soon as I said that, the whole cluster wanted to fall out. Thank you. Does not surprise me. Do you know what? Almost every single zodiac sign for this week, time for a nap has popped out. Yeah, definitely. Rest and recoup. All right. So the first cards we got right here, Libra, is Loyal Heart, Chaos and Conflict, and that flag is lit up. And when I see these cards right here, it's not necessarily what they mean when they made these cards, but this is what I see. And it definitely does glow bright. And it is glowing here on, like they already have it highlighted. See? But to me, it's glowing bright. There could be chaos and conflict. I'm also hearing changes in the wind. But it's how, you know what, let's just see where this is going. But the other cards over here, we've got Milk and Honey, Time for a Nap, and Time to Go. Okay? Moving out of a situation or situations, or it's almost like a wave. That's what I get. It's kind of on the downturn where it's not highlighted. Okay. This is going to be, I told you it was going to be a different one. Dun, dun. Libra. Let's see here. Okay. I'll take them. Now, before we begin, since we have what represents to me as family, friends, lovers, how it applies, it's people who are, this feels like family. This feels like close. That's what it feels like to me. All right. But you know what I mean? You don't, when you have friends, it doesn't mean it have to be blood. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the week, we have this is what it's revolved around. There's some kind of chaos and conflict. I think it's even, this could be chaos and conflict. It doesn't necessarily have to present itself externally. Actually, I think it may be. It may not be loud, but it may be present. But what I'm seeing is with the four of cups, there's dissatisfaction here. Okay. Somebody, yeah. Rest and repose. I keep hearing rest and repose. That's why I'm pausing. Yeah, there it is right there. Anyway, rest will take and help with a lot of this too. Anyway, we've got the four of cups, like I was saying, dissatisfaction. Your message here is don't miss the opportunity that is being given, because you're focused on three. I'm not other things. I think this is like past situations, like focusing at three different things that may have already happened and maybe comparing it to now. This is almost like a new thing. This is kind of new. But anyway, don't miss this opportunity. It's kind of going to be right in front of your face. And I know that's not all what that card means, but to me, that's exactly what that means. That feels right. All right. So anyway, we've got the Page of Wands, and we've got the Three of Cups, and we've got the Emperor. Many meanings for these. This one actually can represent a younger person. It almost feels like it. But this also represents a message. There's going to be a movement forward. And there's everybody. We're always moving forward every single day. I had somebody say, oh, wow, why are you saying there's new beginnings and and endings and movement forward. Well, you know what? I mean, everyday adult life, you have brand new beginnings every single day. You have to move forward every single day. You have to make decisions, right? That's what these readings are for. It just kind of gives you a kind of outline. All right. Anyway, this one right here could also represent a message that's going to cause some celebration. It could also be revolving around an event or something that was on the mind a lot around the March. But to me right here, this could also be a gathering, literal gathering. And it's showing me 3 people celebrating. We've got the Emperor. The Emperor could also represent Aries. Okay, could represent Aries person. I'm not feeling like I need to pull out like the dictatorship. The Emperor is stern and all this other stuff. But I think it's more showing me that for the Zodiac sign. But it's also showing me there's going to be direction. Aries, I'm stopping right there because I don't feel like I don't. I think there's going to be a cause for celebration this week. That's what I get. Or there will be a celebration, a coming together. Could be an Aries person. Okay. But we've got milk and honey and time for a nap. And then we've got time to go. Yeah, maybe some of you have some relatives, family, friends coming and visiting. Because the time to go is usually about leaving a situation. But sometimes it's about family, friends, lovers leaving. Okay. To me, this does not look like a bad week. Okay, the chaos and the conflict, well, chaos could be just because having people around. But I think this is, I don't know. I think you've been watching. Okay, let's see here. A changes in the wind. Chop the wood. See, I saw chop the wood blowing around there a couple times. Especially this week, you're going to continue to be, it's not just cleaning up family situations. If that applies to you, then apply it how you will. This is actual work. This is actually cleaning up. And you know what? I've been seeing this with a lot of Zodiac signs so far this week. Literally, it's like chop the wood, taking care of business, taking care of projects, whatever you need to do. Okay. But it's also a changes in the wind. Yeah, there's a big change in the wind. And it's focusing around how this makes you feel right here. And it does show me chaos and conflict. Okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean that is I'm fighting, yelling, stuff like this. This could also be just around situations where you've been evaluating stuff so much. It may be actually something presented to you differently. And it may not be presented to you. It may be about somebody else. But anyway, let's see where this is going. I'll just give the message. Don't mean I understand it all the time. Let's see here. I mean, I get the gist of it, but there's so many thousands of Libra. Just take the pieces. Peaks of joy. You know what? This week, yes or no? Nope. Peaks of joy. This week, it actually looks in general, it's a very good week. I mean, there could be a little hiccups here and there, but that's life. I think you're going to be paying more closer attention to one specific thing or person. Let's see here. Yep. See where that's going, because there was another one that showed up here too. Rescue. Stuck in the mud. All right, you're going to become very aware of the truth of a situation, and it doesn't necessarily mean something's been hidden. It's something that, like I said, this is not a bad week whatsoever. I'm seeing, you're going to definitely be wanting to take some rest and nap, but this is a week that is full of milk and honey. It's more of a brighter, happier, could be spending time with family, friends, lovers. Some of them, if you have people visiting, they'll be having to go home. Yep. For some of you, could also represent time to go from a situation. But I really think this is not what this is really representing from what I'm seeing. However it applies to you. Now, this one right here, I'm not going to get too in detailed on it. What I'm looking at and what drove my eyes to it was the picture itself. This is kind of like an ice castle. All right. Then we have rescue. Then we have stuck in the mud, something not moving. Rescue right here. And whatever this is about, definitely not alone in a situation. Because we've got rainbow coming out of here, rainbow coming out of here. I think you're going to be coming unstuck, whether it's a situation. I think it's actually how you've been feeling. Yep. We've got Wizard of Awareness. You certainly will, 100%. And so we've got 3, the number 3 here. We've got 3 of Cups here, and March stood out in my head. If there was a situation that was kind of like showing up in March, or kind of stood out in your head in March, you will be very aware this week around that situation. Like, it'll be more clear. Do you see how he's sitting there and he's kind of looking it out? All right. There's 3 down there. All right. I think there's a solution coming. That's what I get. But anyway, the overall week has a feel of, there could be a little hiccup here and there. Could be around a partnership, change in the wind, or there's a change, you're watching a change. But anyway, overall, it is generally a good week period for you is what I'm seeing. There's going to be celebrating, still working. Could be hanging around an Aries person. All right, let's go ahead. And like I said, the messages are done there. I think you're going to be more aware. That stands out. No matter what's going on, even if there's people around you hanging out, I think there's a milestone coming here. I think there's going to be, right around the Wizard of Awareness, completion, reward, achievement, completion. Okay. Yes, I think you need to do that too. Relaxation. Definitely going to have to relax. You're definitely going to be feeling like you need to take a nap. Let me tell you what, I think there might have been, no, I think every single zodiac sign has had take time for a nap so far. Let's see. Travel, change in location. To me, I think it's travel. Whether you're traveling or somebody's traveling towards you. I'm not supposed to put anything in there. Sensitivity and strength, forces within. All right, so this one, and this is showing me a picture that's kind of out in nature. Okay, it's getting back in touch with yourself, getting back in touch with nature. And you may just be smack dab in the middle of it. Change. Change is in the wind here too, but change is one of those, it's every day. There's always something that's going to change. This one right here is travel. It's showing me travel, achievement, completion, and reward. All right. Could be very well. Do you see how she's sitting here walking away from a situation, or it's time to go? This could represent somebody who's actually leaving after they've been visiting, or it can, just hanging out, or it could, that's what, if I'm not supposed to read more into it, because that's it. That's pretty much it. Or if there's a situation where it's time to go because it's completed. All right, Libra, that is what I got for you. That was a little different. Until next week, bye for now.